Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. And I spell that Huemonds. Whoa, there, that's better. Today is Sunday, June 15th. It's already the middle of the month. What? Yeah. So yeah, June 15th, middle of the month. It's about 6 a.m. in the morning. Here we are in southwestern Nevada, having my bonk everyday dose. So it is day 7 in week 4 of our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. To get a link to that, to get a link to the worksheet for today, go down below. There'll be a link to our gschool-u.com website, and that will take you there. The top it says worksheets. You click on worksheets, and there it is. Okay, our theme of today. Yes, let's see. Theme of today. I don't know. Not sure what the theme of today is. Got a little bit of a late start this morning, only because have you ever had one of those very realistic dreams where you wake up and you're thinking the dream was the reality and the reality is the dream, and so you decide to go back to sleep? Okay, well, I had one of those today, and it was very profound and very good, and I still have let's say threads of that running through me. You know, you're trying to remember the dream, you're trying to figure it out. You only know how you felt. You don't know, you can't remember the vividness of it. Whoosh, flushed, gone, trying to bring it back. So and then of course it's Sunday, so that is laundry day, meaning my sheets and blankets and my pillows and all of that stuff. So running a tad late today. Didn't get the theme of today, but I can tell you it's day 7 of week 4, so it's the last day. Tomorrow morning we start with day 1, week 1, intro and orientation. I can tell you the TED Talk for today is one of the great ones, David Foster Wallace. This is water. This is water. One of the great inspirational videos of all time. I think the Steve Jobs Stanford speech was also a great one. Father Boyle's Pepperdine speech, top one. But anyway, David Foster Wallace, really good one. Seth Godin. Let's see, Seth Godin today. Oh yeah, we'll look at Seth Godin. He has a good one today. The power of a pause. The single most effective way to invest 90 seconds a day is simple and difficult. 18 times a day, when you're about to offer advice, ask a question, or blurt out a response, wait 5 seconds. That pause shifts the way what you say next will be perceived. It also opens the door for you to discover what was about to be said, which might be the most important thing you haven't heard. Buzzer management is essential for some activities, but 18 times a day, a pause might be exactly what's needed. Voila, there we go. So that's a good one. Another good one. Another good one from Seth Good. Pause for 5 seconds. 18 times a day, which is 90 seconds. A total of 90 seconds of pausing. Let's see, down below in the worksheet is the interview with Dr. Tom Waters. Got a lot of very good compliments on it. And I watched it a few times myself. I thought it was pretty good. Could it have been better? Yes, way better. But I thought it was good. I thought it was a good start. Some things were not accurate. Of course, I'm not one of the religious leaders in Pahrump, or if I am, point. We have a dearth. If someone would include me as leaders in Pahrump, I would say one of two things. Either you're out of your mind or what's wrong with Pahrump. There's 100 guys that are more religiously qualified. However, I do my part. I pursue studies, and I think I am actually on the right track. Oops, as Lucy would say, oops. Okay, so what else do we have on our worksheet? Advice from an 80-year-old. Right, never deprive someone of hope. It might be all they have. Okay, that's going to be our theme. That will be our theme. Never give up hope. Never give up hope. Might as well do this now so I don't forget later. Get the file fixed. Never give up hope. So this is an extended 5-second pause. That looks about right. Never give up hope. Never. So the advice from an 80-year-old is never deprive someone of hope. It might be all they had. And I think that's important for our purposes because many of the people we run across, in fact, I would say on a normal distribution, people we run across, the normal distribution, there's people who have lost hope, people who have nothing but hope, and everybody else is in between. They have some level of hope. I would say our people are on the end of the spectrum of no hope. They're on that end of the spectrum. They are looking at their life, maybe they're older, they're looking at their lives as if, oh man, I've only got a little bit left. And this is what I am. This is who I have become. This is my life. And perhaps resigning themselves to that. And therefore, if this is who I am, oh well, dang. It's not what I ever thought. I guess I have to accept it. Okay, no. So they've lost hope. And there are other people that it's here's a take my hand, we're going to pull you out. No, I'm too damaged, I'm too dirty, too whatever. I can't go with you, I'm too ashamed, too embarrassed, whatever. Our people are more on that end of the spectrum rather than I know what my chosen destiny is. And I think some of the people on this end, the less hope side, have a belief that God has a plan for you, a detailed daily plan, not an overall plan. You know, like let's say all parents have a plan for their kids if they want their kids to be successful, whatever that means. They don't have a here's the minute by minute, day by day thing. And they don't raise their kids to say, well, my parents are doing the planning for me. When they tell me what my plan is, I'll do it. There's no version of reality where people should be raised on a thing of, I need somebody to tell me what my plan is. I'm just waiting. Broad brush, yeah. I don't need to worry about the things I need to do to be able to go to college. Okay, my parents are working on that. This is like a 10-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old. Okay, I don't need to be studying, figuring out what universities to go to 10 years from now. That's the parents' job. What I need to do is I need to get good grades. I need to study. I need to learn. I don't need to do the big broad brush stuff right now. My parents will do that. They're setting the path for me. They're taking the obstacles out of my path to getting a great education. That's reasonable, right? For the kid to say, well, my parents have to spend time with me doing my homework because if they don't do my homework with me, my homework's not going to get done. It's my parents' responsibility. So I think many people think that God is the Uber driver, not the Uber driver, that God is Uber, and I have to look at my job is to be looking at my Bible and take the turns that God wants me to take. Go here, do this, stop that. I'm just the driver. I think too many people think that they're just the driver of their body, of their soul, that God is the one who gives them the directions on where to go. I think that's totally false. I don't think that's what Jesus said. Can you construct that? Can you weave that out of the fabric of the Old Testament and the New Testament? Yeah, you can. And the easy way to prove it is go into a church one Sunday, and watch how they stitch together all these different parts of the Bible to support their theory. Versus, here's what Jesus said. Love God, love one another, make disciples. Well, let's talk about loving one another. What did he say about that? Oh, we've got the Beatitudes, we've got Matthew 25. Do the Beatitudes in Matthew 25 form a contiguous line? Yeah. Yeah, in fact, you could say, start with Matthew 25, 35 and 36. Feed the hungry, thirsty, unclothed, unhoused, sick, and people in prison. Okay, great. Well, how do I treat them? Oh, go over to the Beatitudes. What does it say there? In my interpersonal dealings. What does it say there? Versus, no, God has a plan for you. And I'm going to go over here and say this, and then over there, and I'm going to stitch all these things together to have one thing. So there's that word again. Dang, gee. There's that pause. There's the pause. Okay, so David Foster Wallace, this is water. We'll start it out with there are two young fish swimming along, bing, 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 bing. And along from the other direction comes an older fish. They're swimming. And as they pass, the older fish says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" And then when this fish is out of the way, one of these fish looks at the other one and says, "What the hell is water?" And then for about 20 minutes, David Foster Wallace goes along that thread, branching off into other things to support that belief, to say that we have this hardwiredness to us where we are the ultimate, the absolute center of our universe, or skull-sized kingdom. And it is so immersive, so much around us that we don't even notice it. Everybody has that. It's our hardwiredness that we have built. It's the frustration we might have when we're on the freeway or in the store and somebody's wasting my time or they're trying to get me. And David Foster Wallace says, the value of a great education is that you can see that and you can choose to be that way or to be some other way. That we don't have to, we're not condemned to be that. And one of his interesting little side roads he takes is he talks about everybody worships something. It could be money. It could be looks. It could be brains. But whatever the thing is you worship, you will always feel inadequate. So if you worship beauty, you'll always feel you're not pretty enough. If you worship money, you never have enough. If you worship brains, you're not smart enough. And to recognize that. So what is your water? So for the fish, right, the water, they're so immersed in the water. They grew up in the water. It was always around them. And they were unaware of it. Now that could be regarding, well, we got to figure it out for ourselves, what it is for each of us. And he's not saying it's bad. He's not arguing that the water is bad for the fish. He's saying they're so immersed in it, they don't even know it exists. They don't know how important it is to them. So, let's just look at our worksheet one more time because we're getting close to that magic time. So to prepare for the podcast, the thing to do is breathing exercise. Huberman's breathing exercise, double inhale. Do that twice. Once your lungs are full, inhale again. And then let it pour out. Attitude of gratitude. Say to yourself, I'm so happy and grateful now that. It's best if you do this with your eyes closed. And so I'm so happy and grateful now that. Close your eyes and just wait for it to tell you all the things you're happy and grateful about. Also, always look on the bright side. It could be worse. When you're sitting there saying, I'm bored. No, wrong. Our brains are designed to answer questions. Don't say, I'm bored, because now you're not engaging your brain. That's a statement of your opinion as a fact. Say, what can I be doing in the next 5 minutes to make this room better, to make my life better? And you can always say, I'm going to do some breathing exercises. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to focus on something. I'm going to memorize a poem. The Purple Cow. Seth Godin, not Seth Godin, that was his book. Review yesterday. Do a exercise and then project out into the future. Okay, so we should be at our limit. The limits we've paid for. And yes, so I will say and cut. Shivas and shalom. Scotch and peace.